Ding. Your blood bar gold finger has been credited. Cloud C Assembly Point Cloud C Number 1 Central Hospital Ophthalmology. The doctor looked at the young man in front of him, who looked extremely haggard with deeply sunken eye sockets, with some suspicion. The doctor is very suspicious whether he has the wrong patient, given his appearance of kidney deficiency. Are you Jiangyu? The doctor unconsciously adjusted his glasses and the young man nodded. Yes. The doctor restrained his doubts and asked, what are your symptoms? Jiangyu paused and said, my eyes haven't been feeling comfortable recently. I seem to see a red layer over everything, but it disappears when I blink, and reappears when I blink again. Also, when I look at black objects, especially shadows, I always feel that something is not right. At this moment, Jiangyu stared straight at a spot a few centimeters above the doctor's head as if something was gathering there. Finally, a light spot appeared in that elongated object. It turned into a row of numbers. 18%. The whole thing looked like a health bar from a game, and furthermore the health bar was becoming clearer and clearer. The doctor happened to ask, how old are you? Jiangyu stared at the row of numbers and said 18, before realizing, Doctor, you were asking about my age, right? The doctor was completely confused, thinking to himself, otherwise what else could I be asking about? Length? This kid should go see a neurologist. This doctor looks pretty healthy, but if the 18% health bar above his head were actual blood, he would be close to death. The doctor asked again, do you drink alcohol? Jiangyu's attention was now scattered everywhere, and he instinctively asked, do you drink now? The doctor was speechless. Jiangyu also realized that he seemed to be answering the wrong question and quickly explained, Sorry, I was a bit distracted. The doctor covered his head in pain, thinking to himself, you're not just distracted, it's obvious that your soul has already flown away. The doctor then said, young man, your attention seems to be unable to focus. Forget it, I'll still check you. After saying that, the doctor stood up and took out a small flashlight. He aimed the light at Jiangyu's eyes and let him look around. Other than some redness, there were basically no problems. There are also many blood vessels. It is obvious that he hasn't slept well. In the end, the doctor could only say, there is nothing serious. All the values are pretty normal. It should just be a common conjunctivitis. I will prescribe some eye drops for you. Just go back and apply a drop, it should be fine. Jiangyu thanked the doctor and then turned to leave the consultation room. Now in his eyes, the whole hospital corridor was bathed in blood red. Doctors, nurses, patients and visitors were coming and going, and the blood bars above their heads were densely packed. One big guy seemed to be bleeding heavily with 70% blood loss, but he didn't seem to mind it at all. Taking a glance around, besides a few people in wheelchairs looking rather weak, most others had blood levels above 50%. What's the situation with the eye doctor's 18% blood level from earlier? Then he thought to himself, oh well, he's a doctor. He must understand his own condition better than I do. Thinking, he walked outside. Treat illness? What illness? In the commentary of P1-Manhwa, it was clear that his cheat codes had arrived. Although he still didn't know the usefulness of seeing the health bar. He walked out of the hospital. Various news and slogans were displayed on the big screen outside. Night Watcher has started a new round of recruitment. 100 years ago, Earth was shocked by the appearance of countless powerful and terrifying xenomorphs from the 2 Yuan Rift, wreaking havoc on the entire Earth. Over the past century, the Great Zhou has established several impregnable level 1 gathering points and many level 2 and 3 gathering places. Cloud C, where Jiangyu is located, is one of the level 2 gathering places. At this moment, Jiangyu, holding a candy cigarette, leisurely walks home. Indeed, he found that his shoelaces had come undone. A distinguished transmigrator like himself must always be neat and tidy. Thinking so, he bent down to tie his shoelaces. Just as Jiangyu finished tying a cute butterfly knot, he suddenly felt something was not right. The surroundings began to turn cold and gloomy. The sounds around suddenly drifted away from oneself, and a chill started spreading from the depths of the heart to the whole body. Finally, the whole person seemed to fall into an ice cave. He struggled to lift his head. Everything around him seemed to have become dilapidated, as if something had happened. And not far away, countless soldiers in combat gear were fighting against a group of strange xenomorphs. Jiangyu was already feeling a bit out of breath at this time. And when he raised his head, he actually found that the sun in the sky became extremely strange, emitting abnormal light, and even more terrifying, he actually saw a blood streak on the sun's head. This issue is quite significant, he may start to panic. You are already a mature shadow, you should be able to copy the math problems by yourself. Late at night, only a few households still have their lights on, and Jiangyu's home is one of them. Jiangyu said, "Raise your hand," and then he looked ahead. His shadow swayed as he raised his hand. "Jiangyu, lift your leg again." His shadow trembled as he lifted his leg unsteadily. Upon seeing this scene, Jiangyu immediately burst into a mischievous smile. The degree of his mischievous smile has reached the point where even his shadow feels uncomfortable. "Shadow, why don't you do a little dance?" Suddenly, the shadow seemed to have been triggered like it had pressed a switch. His whole body started to dance. He dances Gangnam style so standardly, how standard can it be? In the midst of disorientation, even the soy sauce Jiangyu feels like background music is playing in my mind. For a moment, things feel a bit chaotic. At this moment, the pattern on his chest burst into a bright light. The light orb detached from the body. The light orb gathered in midair to form something resembling a lottery wheel. Vaguely, Jiangyu could see 3 words on top: God, xenomorph, human. Finally, after spinning rapidly, the wheel stopped at human. Suddenly, a bright light flashed. Next, a curtain of light quickly unfolded in front of him. Jiangyu said with surprise, "Is this the attribute panel of that shadow?" With a thought from Jiangyu, a detailed description then unfolds. It turns out this shadow holds all of Jiangyu's memories. He is also able to carry out simple instructions. Jiangyu looked at the light curtain in front of him, then looked at the energetic shadow dancing behind him. He reached out his hand and passed right through the chest of the shadow. It seems that the shadow does not have a physical body. Jiangyu asked, "Do you have all of my memories?" The shadow continued to dance without stopping, just nodding somewhat mechanically. Upon hearing this, Jiangyu walked to the table and began writing something with a rustling sound of pen on paper. In a moment, he finished writing and called over the shadow. Turned out to be a math problem. Jiangyu handed the pen over and said, "This is my summer vacation homework. Why don't you give it a try?" Jiangyu suddenly realized a problem. "Wait a minute, can't you?" As the shadow grasped the pen physically? To their surprise, the shadow reached out and successfully grasped the pen. So does this guy really have a physical body? Jiangyu reached out and kept poking the shadow. However, all his fingers passed through the other person's body. He was a little frightened for a moment. But the next moment, the shadow put down the pen and looked innocently at Jiangyu. Jiangyu was stunned. "Why aren't you writing?" "Wait a minute, your face is turning green." The shadow just wrote answer. He was so angry that he almost hit Jiangyu, but he missed. He couldn't help but curse. What a load of bull. Remembering all the answers. I can solve this question in 2 minutes just for fun. Is it because the questions he said are too difficult? He thought to himself with a smile. Then you transcribe the ancient text. Horse breaks the camp sky, for me. Upon hearing this command, the shadow was no longer sleepy. The shadow wrote as if flying with the strokes, smooth and flowing like clouds and water. He wrote, "Power of the horse 3 stages." At this moment, the young man of the Xiao family. In no time, the first chapter will be finished. Damn, what's the point of being a superhuman? All those novels in my head were copied by the shadow. If I publish them like this, I'll make a profit. Exciting, this is so damn exciting. He asked Shadow to continue copying Jiangyu's book, and planned to see the remaining abilities. Thinking about it, he clicked on the Shadow Devourer. Devouring darkness to gain power? So Jiangyu squatted down in the corner, reaching out his hand. He looks like a typical adolescent stage person. But after a while, nothing happened at all. This broken ability doesn't even have an instruction manual or beginner's tutorial. At least make yourself familiar with it. Jiangyu cursed angrily in his heart, feeling so irritated that he was itching and cursing again. As for the shadow pupil, Jiangyu has also gained some experience with it. It seems that what I saw before was the dark side of this world. Thinking, he turned and said to his shadow, "Don't recite silently for now. Do a few push-ups for me to see." The shadow nodded and stood up from its seat. Then he gazed under the supervision of Jiangyu. He sank down towards the ground until he completely disappeared. "Hey, where did you go when I asked you to do push-ups? Where's my shadow? Will working out my shadow make me stronger? Is this some outrageous cheat code?" He sees his shadow and dives in, then it disappears. Redyu was suddenly anxious, looking up at the ceiling, the kitchen. He even searched through the toilet, but still couldn't find it. At this moment, Jiangyu's heart stirred slightly, and as soon as he turned around, he saw something resembling a black hole. Immediately after, A dark figure emerged from the air. It was Zhang Yu's shadow. What on earth was this shadow? Zhang Yu couldn't help but furrow his brow. Where did you just go? The shadow grabbed a pen and paper from the table, swiftly wrote 2 big characters. Dark side. Zhang Yu felt a pang in his heart, as it should be the dark side of the world. Then he asked, why did you go there? The shadow wrote 3 big characters again. Push-ups. Oh my, why did you specifically go to the dark side to do push-ups? Could it be that the dark side has better workout results? So he waved his hand and let the shadow go for training. The shadow nodded. Then he turned around and seeped back into the ground, disappearing. Seeing the shadow disappear, Zhang Yu sighed. He then sat back at the computer desk, turned on the computer and graphics tablet. In fact, Zhang Yu is not only a student but also a highly popular cartoonist. With the art experience from before crossing, the transmigrated Zhang Yu directly copied the hot-blooded comics he had seen, instantly gaining great popularity. Zhang Yu's online username is Rainy Night with or without a knife. It is also widely circulated. Zhang Yu, who rested for half a month. He should also start a new episode by now. In the blink of an eye, a night has passed. Zhang Yu slept soundly on the table, drooling onto the drawing board. It turns out that Zhang Yu was so engrossed in his creation that he fell asleep without realizing it. Indeed, a knock on the door sounded, and Zhang Yu struggled to open his eyes. He then realized that he had actually fallen asleep in that position for the whole night. He woke up feeling sore and achy in his back. When he turned over, his back made a cracking sound, causing him to involuntarily cry out. Standing up, Zhang Yu yawned as he walked over to open the door. As soon as the door opened, he saw a girl standing in front of him with 93% of her blood volume, none other than Lu Yao, Zhang Yu's childhood sweetheart and classmate, who was also a loyal fan of his manga. Hey, wait a minute, Zhang Yu was stunned. How did Lu Yao lose blood so suddenly? He then looked at the calendar and understood that those days of monthly blood loss had arrived. He touched his nose and withdrew his gaze. Zhang Yu asked, why did you come so early? Lu Yao didn't even bother to respond and just rushed into the house, asking, I saw your TikTok post last night saying you're going to start a new anime series? And the content has been finalized too? Quickly show me the settings. At that moment there was a loud noise behind Lu Yao, which even scared her pale. She turned around angrily and shouted, Zhang Yu! You don't have to slam the door even if you don't want to show me. Are you throwing a tantrum? Lu Yao carefully looked and her face became even paler. She saw that the closed security door and the edges of the door frame showed faint cracks on the walls. This scared Lu Yao so much that she even swallowed her saliva. Zhang Yu didn't respond. Instead, he looked somewhat stunned at his own arm. Goodness, the muscle lines were clearly defined and smooth. With just a little effort, he could feel the strength flowing through his entire arm. Lu Yao looked at you with some surprise, her slightly muscular figure. After scrutinizing him for a moment, she blurted out, have you been working out? No way, this is not the character you've created. You are the epitome of a couch potato who never exercises. How could you possibly have a perfect muscular body overnight? Indeed, Lu Yao suddenly remembered something and quickly asked, wait a minute, Zhang Yu, are you taking some kind of drug? Pay attention to this man, he's getting stronger by lying down without doing anything. He faced Lu Yao's question and Zhang Yu definitely couldn't reveal the secret of his shadow. Otherwise, he might be caught and subjected to experiments which wouldn't be worth it. So he could only shake his head and deny, saying that he had been exercising diligently recently. He even showed off his pectoral muscles as he spoke. Lu Yao was not polite at all. She went up and lifted Zhang Yu's clothes in one go. This gave both of them bright red faces. Lu Yao then realized that something was not quite right, but still forced herself to look up and down. What kind of training intensity has led you to develop 8-pack abs in just a few days? Also, chest muscles like Captain America's? How is that possible? Absolutely impossible. However, I have seen some cases my dad handled. Zhang Yu, those things must not be touched. You can turn back now, there is still time. Zhang Yu couldn't help but curl his lips. What trouble could I get into? You should just keep quiet, with your little mouth chattering away. Who knew that Lu Yao not only didn't hold back, but instead took a step forward and directly pinned down Zhang Yu with a grab. Then reaching behind her waist, Zhang Yu was surprised. This girl is serious. He quickly shouted, hey, let's talk it out. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you reaching for? Lu Yao then withdrew her hand. She took out something resembling a bracelet from behind her waist. Without saying a word, she put it on Jiang Yu. Before Jiang Yu could speak, Lu Yaoyao said, "Don't move. This is a pollution index tester." Lu Yaoyao was staring at the small screen of the tester at this time and casually explained, "Kill xenomorph, ingest foreign objects. Newborn resentment, everyone will be polluted to a certain extent. If these pollutants are not cleared in a timely manner, accumulation will lead to human degeneration and aberration." Upon hearing this, Jiang Yu chuckled to himself. His abilities came from the manual in front of his chest, so there couldn't be any pollution. But at this moment there was a sudden reaction at his chest. The testing device suddenly began to show an increase in numbers. Jiang Yu slightly turned his head and discovered that Lu Yaoyao had pulled out a gun from somewhere. "Oh, this girl is going to shoot herself. Hey, the safety of the gun is off." Thinking of this, Jiang Yu quickly suppressed the movement within his body. Soon, the numerical values visibly decreased and finally returned to normal. Jiang Yu looked at Lu Yaoyao and chuckled. "See, I told you there's nothing wrong." Lu Yaoyao looked suspiciously and checked. "It seems like there's no problem now." Jiang Yu let out a long sigh and couldn't help but ask, "Tell me, did you cock the gun? Did you unlock the safety catch? You almost scared me to death." Lu Yaoyao then explained, "It's how my father taught me. In all things one must be a bit cautious." As she spoke, she holstered her gun back. Jiang Yu knew he couldn't linger on this topic any longer. Otherwise, he really didn't know if he could handle it. He shifted the conversation and said, "Lately, I've been drawing some passionate character designs with a good storyline. Do you want to take a look?" Lu Yaoyao, as a die-hard fan of passionate manga, is completely unable to resist such things. She almost wanted to pounce on Jiang Yu. After much persuasion, he finally coaxed her into going back by giving her a complete set of new passionate anime setting collection. When Lu Yaoyao left, Jiang Yu collapsed on the bed, feeling more exhausted from dealing with the girl than drawing comics. After taking a break, Jiang Yu accessed the interface. He looked at the system log. He couldn't help but widen his eyes in astonishment. Jiang Yu was completely dumbfounded. Really fucking outrageous. The shadow was actually exercising all along. The main act is just a shadow exercising. I'm living the life. As Lu Yaoyao was dealt with by Jiang Yu waved his hand and a black aura descended. A black mist suddenly rose from the floor. In the end, Jiang Yu's entire shadow squeezed out from the floor. Jiang Yu saw this scene and nodded slightly in approval. "Very good. I have already felt the results of your workout last night. It can be said that the improvement is very obvious. However, we cannot be satisfied with the current progress. We need to increase the difficulty to make ourselves faster and stronger." The shadow didn't know that he had become quite a useful tool in Jiang Yu's eyes, still silly nodding repeatedly. Jiang Yu suddenly became interested. "Let's do some group push-ups. Walking planks. Single-handed two-finger push-ups. Handstand push-ups, followed by another set of regular push-ups. Human flag pistol squats. Spider-Man crawls, followed by dragon flag for abs." Jiang Yu danced excitedly. Jiang Yu could be said to have explained all the exercise methods he knew one by one, even searching for some explanations and then saying them all. At this moment, Lu Yaoyao, who was eavesdropping outside the door, heard the sound of exercising inside. She hadn't heard of more than half of the names of these exercise moves. She could only sigh secretly, realizing that Jiang Yu was indeed exercising. She must have been overly suspicious. It's really annoying to worry others like this. Fortunately, he's fine. Lu Yaoyao, who had let go of her worries, happily bounced her way back home. I need to quickly watch this comic. On the first day of obtaining the shadow, Jiang Yu's whole life changed. The shadow did not stop for a night, exercising diligently. As for Jiang Yu, they slept comfortably and didn't feel tired at all from head to toe. Yet, their physical fitness improved. Shameful. We young people, how can we be content with the status quo? So the next day, Jiang Yu doubled the intensity of the training for the shadow. In the end, it can be said that the effect was outstanding. Well-defined abs, enlarged chest muscles, truly to the extent that makes people drool at the sight. Please refer to Captain America in the movie. Now Jiang Yu even doubts if he could easily overpower Lu Yaoyao in a match. The more he thinks about it, the more pleasing it seems. However, all of this is not important. What matters is to continue training and make oneself stronger. Later, Jiang Yu's Uncle Lee came to see him. Uncle Lee works at Night Watcher, but he is older now and has lost an arm, so he is more involved in logistical work. Jiang Yu can feel that Uncle Lee is no longer his match. Even if there were 3 Uncle Lees, he would be able to handle them without a problem. On the third day, Jiangyu sat up in bed thinking, Jiangyu, oh Jiangyu, how could you have fallen so low? Life cannot be so comfortable. To gain extraordinary abilities, one must be tough themselves. Jiangyu, you must work hard. On the fourth day, Jiangyu continued to lie in bed, scrolling through TikTok, while the shadow of someone continued to exercise. On the fifth day, Jiangyu finally didn't stay in bed and instead sat in front of the computer playing games. As for exercising, isn't the shadow still working out? On the sixth day, Jiangyu finally remembered that he needed to exercise, so he voluntarily did 10 push-ups. It can be said that for Jiangyu's current physical fitness, doing dozens of push-ups is a piece of cake, but he only did 10 simply because he was lazy. However, now Jiangyu has also noticed some problems. After these few days, the points of the shadow have only increased by 8 points. It can be said it's very little. At this rate, I don't know when we can accumulate enough points to activate the slot. It seems that it's time to enter the dark side to increase training progress. So, Jiangyu communicated with the shadow just in an instant. A black aura enveloped Jiangyu. Jiangyu began to sink slowly. He finally disappeared into his own floor. Jiangyu felt like he had arrived in a void. The next moment he stood still, waiting to open his eyes. Surprisingly, he found himself still in his own home, but it was a dark place as if everything had lost its color. It seems this is the dark side of the world. You scoundrel! I'm going to take you on. You just wait and see if I'll fight you or not. Step out with Jiangyu. He finally arrived at the outer world of the dark side and he breathed a sigh of relief. Things from the dark side seemed immovable.